put into it. This subliminal brain of yours is most affected by your sentiments. A difference in feeling is a difference in fate. Your view of your reality is what controls your qualities, and on the off chance that you're not feeling great, the issue is you don't have to change your science, you simply need to change your insight, and this will then give you your power back. And this is what we need to remember. We are not survivors of science, we are bosses of our science. It is our demeanor toward life which will decide life's demeanor toward us. We should confront the reality, genuinely, that we shape our own lives and the states of them, not entirely set in stone by our mentalities, an individual with an unfortunate disposition toward advancing. For instance, isn't going to learn much until he changes his disposition. Assuming we take the mentality that we can't accomplish something, we by and large will not do it a mentality of disappointment, and we're whipped before we start. So we know then that what we get from life, what we achieve or neglect to achieve, is due in enormous measure to our in general disposition. Do you have any idea when an individual further develops their mental self-portrait? They change their whole life, their pay, change their relationship, change their well-being. Changes. Did you had any idea about how you do that? Begin concentrating on. You begin to find out more about you. There's something wonderful about you. The possibility that your contemplations make that is strong. A great many people don't even realize that. A great many people lead lives, as Toss said, of calm franticness. Thus they're living to their grave as a casualty. They don't realize that they have power. They don't realize that they have decision. They don't realize that they can set a goal and really move in the bearing of it, which is the essentials of the law of fascination. As Emerson said, you become your thought process about more often than not. Baron Songbird, in his most odd mystery of achievement, essentially said that you become your opinion on the entire day. So what we have found is that our external world is only a reflection, or compares with our internal world in programming language. They have an articulation geo, which implies trash and trash out, be that as it may. It likewise implies great in great out at this point, assuming that the person resembled a creature also, that we were modified forever also, would never change our impulses and our reactions. Then we would have no expectation in any case. Fortunately, everything that we have learned, we can forget that all that has been modified into us can be deprogrammed and can be superseded with new programming. And we say, number one, your self-idea is the ACE program of your psyche mind. It's the expert program. Your self-idea is your working framework. All that you produce outwardly is decided, altered, impacted here and there by your self-idea. You can't change what is being created outwardly without changing your working framework. So that is the principal thing we know. Second, we say you generally perform outwardly in light of your thought process. Within you, continuously perform. Outwardly founded on your thought process. Within my entirety thing is I'm continually reminding individuals. There is just a single foe in your life. That is you in the event that you fix this one. Individual, everything is fine with you, yes or no. You have just a single foe, that is yourself. Assuming you fix this, one individual. This is a great life, dealing with your psyche. Taking charge of your cognizance is a method of beating those restrictions. There are a wide range of approaches to take this control back in your life. And one of them is the capacity to, like in yoga, for instance, to be the expert of your brain and not let it run the monkey mind. Let it run. No, I need this. I don't try not to let this other one go. When you have a thought you need to make a move, I indeed even say it's your work. So discovering that your brain makes that as strong, yet you additionally discover that your body needs to have the completion and you need to make a move to co-create what you need to manifest. Ask yourself, what convictions, also insights about you and your life, have you been unknowingly consenting to? that you'd need to change to make this new condition of being? This is a question that requires some thought. Since, as I said, with a large number of these convictions, we aren't even mindful that we accept them frequently. We acknowledge certain signals from our current circumstance that then, at that point, prime us to acknowledge specific convictions, which could conceivably be genuine one way or the other. The second, we acknowledge the conviction, it has an impact not just on our execution, yet in addition on the decisions we make in the learn about the ladies taking the number-related test who previously read counterfeit research reports about men being better than ladies in number, related those who'd understand that the benefit was because of hereditary qualities scored lower than those who'd peruse, that the advantage was expected to generalizing. Albeit the two reports were misleading, men are no greater at math than ladies. The ladies in the gathering who read that, they had a hereditary hindrance. Vantage accepted what they'd peruse and afterwards scored lower. It was something similar with the white men who were informed that Asians score somewhat better than whites on a test they were going to take in the two situations when the understudies were prepared to unwittingly accept. They wouldn't score two. They didn't, despite the fact that what they, truth be told, were told was absolutely bogus. With this in mind, investigate this rundown of some normal, restricting convictions and see which ones you might be holding on to without being completely mindful that you're doing. So I'm not great at math. I'm bashful. I'm irascible. I'm not brilliant or imaginative. I'm a great deal like. My folks' men shouldn't cry or be weak. I can't track down an accomplice. Ladies are lesser than men. My race or culture is unrivaled. Life is serious, life is troublesome, and nobody cares. I'm never going to be a triumph. I need to work. Difficult to make it in life. No good thing at any point happens to me. I'm not a fortunate individual. Things never turn out well for me. I never have sufficient time. It's another person's obligation to fulfill me when I own this specific thing. Then, at that point, I'll be blissful. Changing reality is hard. The truth is a direct process. Microorganisms make me wiped out. I put on weight effectively. I want 8 hours of rest. My aggravation is typical, and it won't ever disappear. My organic clock is ticking. Magnificence looks like this. Having a great time is silly. God is outside of me. I'm a terrible individual. So God doesn't love me. I could continue perpetually. However you get the thought, since convictions and discernments depend on past encounters, then any of these convictions that you end up holding about yourself. Came from quite a while ago. So are they valid, or did you simply make them up? Regardless of whether they were valid eventually in time, that doesn't be guaranteed to imply that they're genuine. Now, we don't take a gander at it. That method, of course, since we're dependent on our convictions, we're dependent on the feelings of our past. We consider our convictions to be bits of insight, not thoughts that we can change. Assuming we have extremely deep-seated convictions about something, proof going against the norm could be sitting directly before us. However, we may not see it, since what we see is altogether unique. We've, as a matter of fact, molded ourselves to trust all kinds of things that aren't really valid, and a large number of these things are having a negative pixie influence on our well-being, and bliss-changing convictions might be troublesome. Yet it's certainly feasible. Just figure what might occur, assuming you had the option to effectively challenge your oblivious convictions, as opposed to suspecting furthermore, feeling, I never have sufficient opportunity to finish everything. Consider the possibility that you, all things considered, thought and felt, I live in the blink of an eye and I achieve everything. Imagine a scenario in which, rather than accepting the universe is planning against me, you accepted the universe is amicable and helps me out. What an incredible conviction. How might you think? How would you live? And how might you walk down the road, assuming that you accept the universe helps you out? How would you imagine that would change your life when you change a conviction? You need to begin by first tolerating that it's conceivable, then change your degree of energy with an uplifted feeling. Lastly, permit your science to redesign itself. It's not important to contemplate how that natural redesign will occur or while it will work out. That is the logical brain at work, which pulls you back into a beta cerebrum wave state and makes you less suggestible. Rather, you simply need to go with a choice that has conclusiveness. And when the adequacy, or on the other hand, energy of that choice becomes more noteworthy than the designed projects in your mind and the profound habit in your body, then you are more prominent than your past. Your body will answer a new psyche, and you can influence genuine change. You definitely know how to do this. Think about a period in your past when you made up your brain to change something about yourself or your life. In the event that you review, a second came when you most likely said to yourself, "It doesn't really matter to me. How I feel, it doesn't make any difference what's happening in my life, and I'm not worried how long it will take. I will do this in a split second." You got goosebumps that is on the grounds, that you moved into a modified condition of being the second. You felt that energy, you were sending your body new data. You felt enlivened. What's more, you emerged from your natural resting state that is on the grounds. That by thought alone, your body moved from living in the same past to living another future in reality. Your body was at this point not the psyche. You were the brain, you were changing a conviction. So it's a good idea that we ought to focus not simply on keeping away from pessimistic feelings like apprehension and outrage, yet additionally, unwittingly developing sincere positive feelings. For example, appreciation, delight,